Welcome, friends. Welcome back to the kitchen. Welcome back to Sunday morning in the old cookbook show. We're going to go back to this cookbook. This is the Loris Secord Canadian Cookbook, published in 1966 as a centennial project by the Loris Secord Candy Company. If you're Canadian, you know who the Loris Secord Candy Company is. The company was named after an actual person, Loris Secord, who lived in the early 1800s, and she was, depending on your point of view, either a hero of the War of 1812 or a traitor. And you can make your own decision on that. We're going to make a cookie today called Skedaddle Ridge Drop Cookies. And I was drawn to this recipe because it uses fruit cocktail in a cookie. And I thought that sounds kind of interesting. Let's give it a go. So, starts out like any cookie. We're going to put some butter in the bottom of the stand mixer, and we're going to soften that up a little bit. While the butter's softening to the flour, I'm going to add salt and baking soda. And, I'm going to stir it in. Of course, if you were making these cookies with a wooden spoon, this mixing together the salt, the soda, and the flour would be so much more important. Using a stand mixer, it's not such a big deal. You don't have to be as proactive with getting it all mixed together. The mixer's going to do the work. So, next in, brown sugar, and a lot of brown sugar. And so we'll cream together the brown sugar and the butter. I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla right now as well. There we go. It's time to put in the egg. So I'm taking a bit of a break this week. We've got some inclement weather. I put new electronics in Mike Victor uniform so I could fly IFR. And I'm currently training to get a higher pilot's license so I can fly IFR. Really bad weather. Ice storms, all that sort of thing. So I'm cooking this week. I'm also getting ready again to fly for Hope Air in the Give Hope Wings fundraiser. Not going to talk about it right now. There will be a piece at the end of the video if you want to learn more about this charity and what I'm doing to help out. Please stick around to the end and look for it. Okay, that's creamed together nicely, so let's add the flour in slowly. Oh, wait. Before the flour goes in, I'm supposed to put in the fruit cocktail. I'll get the fruit cocktail in. Okay. Now we're back on track with the flour. Okay, last of the flour. It's giving this mixer a little bit of trouble. We'll get there. Last ingredient, some chopped walnuts, but I'm using pecans, because pecans. Okay, so the recipe called for a cup of fruit cocktail, drained. And, like a good recipe maker, I drained the can, I measured out a cup of fruit cocktail, and I'm left with maybe a quarter cup to a half a cup of fruit cocktail left in the bottom. I thought maybe I'll snack on it. I just tasted this. It tastes really good. But I'm thinking, let's throw the whole can in. So that's a 398 milliliter can of fruit cocktail. Okay, so we'll stir in that last bit of the fruit cocktail. Elbows up, everybody. Mix it in. Be so much easier with a wooden spoon. Got it in there. Okay, so I'm supposed to drop these onto a prepared baking sheet. I've got a piece of parchment paper. Usually I find that if I'm baking at home just for myself and Julie, I don't put the sheet of parchment paper down because it doesn't really stick. Cookies don't really stick to the baking tray. But I do it on the show because the last thing you want to have happen is have cookies stick to the baking tray on the internet. There's no living it down. Okay, so I think this batter would benefit from a little bit of time in the fridge just to stiffen up some. But the recipe doesn't say to do that, so we'll carry on and see what happens. And into the oven. 350 12 minutes is a good place to start.
Hey, Glenn. Hey,
Jules.
friends. This is the part I was waiting for. Cookies. Oh, I'm only supposed to have half a cookie.
Skedaddle Ridge drop cookies. Interesting. Soft. Mm-hmm. Brown sugar flavor. I think your taste experience is going to vary on what part of the fruit salad you get in your cookie.
Is that what the orange parts are? I was trying to figure out what these orange splotches are. That would explain the can of fruit. Yeah, okay.
Peach, pear, cherry. Somewhere in there there's a grape. That might be a grape.
I almost said, foolishly, that I've never had grapes in my cookies, but I have had a lot of raisins in my cookies
Yes.
and currants in my cookies.
Which are grapes. So there you go.
You know,
These are quite interesting. I would put them in that class of cookie like a soft molasses cookie or yeah.
yes, they are not crispy, crunchy cookies.
They're not crunchy cookies at all. Not crispy
Did you
cookies
put
at all.
like the whole can in, like all the liquid?
No, I drained the liquid
Okay.
out. And it called for a cup of fruit from the can, but I ended up putting the whole can in because there was only a couple tablespoons left in the bottom of the can. Just throw it all in.
It didn't do it any harm.
No, these are quite interesting. I kind of like them. I mean, put a cookie on a plate and give me a cup of tea.
I was gonna say we're not that hard to please sometimes.
And I've got a whole tray of them frozen, uncooked, ready to go for this summer's flying season.
Aha.
These will be coming with me in the airplane. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon. Hey everyone, thanks for sticking around to the end. Thanks for watching to the very end of the video, and thanks for watching this next little bit. Once again, in 2025, I am raising money for Hope Air and participating in the Give Hope Wings flight across Canada that both raises funds for the Hope Air charity, but also raises awareness in the various communities that we stop in and in the wider community through you, that this service exists and that this need needs to be met. Hope Air is a charity that allows Canadians who need healthcare that is not available in their community to travel to the larger cities in Canada where that need can be met. Canada geographically is a massive country, and some communities are pretty far flung. And people end up having to drive 12, 14 hours to get to where the treatment exists that they need. And while healthcare in Canada is universal, any Canadian shows up at the door of the hospital, care is freely given. You have to get to the hospital or you have to get where the treatment is administered. And for a lot of people, this can be a very difficult time in their life. They're juggling a lot of things. They may not have the financial resources to fly to Toronto and put themselves up in a hotel room for a couple of nights and meals and so on and so forth. And Hope Air is a charity that takes care of that, takes that burden away, takes that weight off of people's shoulders and allows them to just get well. So my part in this is to raise awareness and to raise money. I work with other pilots who fly some of these people who are seeking treatment from smaller flying communities to larger centers like Thunder Bay, where they can get a commercial airliner that will take them to Toronto or Winnipeg, so on and so forth. And over the last couple of years, we've raised a lot of money for Hope Air. Last year alone, you donated around $40,000 to help out with this cause. I'm very grateful for that. I feel very blessed that we have created a community here on YouTube, amongst everything else that's going on in the world, where we can help people. So once again, I'm doing this. Once again, we're flying. I will be putting the itinerary down in the description box of the places we're going to be in early June, where you can stop in and we can meet. Also links to Hope Air Charity so that you can check them out, see what they do, and if you're moved to help, there will be a link to the fundraising page. For everyone who has given in the past, I thank you enormously, and everyone who is about to give, thank you.